30 kilometers southwest of Beijing, something extraordinary is being built beneath the Earth. Satellite imagery captured in 2024 revealed a construction site unlike anything the world had ever seen. The Qinglonghu district, and once residential farmland, was quietly transformed into a high-security military zone. Strategically positioned just 8 to 20 miles from the capital, close enough to command, deep enough to survive.
Spanning 1,500 acres, a facility potentially 10 times the size of the United States Pentagon. In mid-2024, construction began at a pace that shocked military analysts monitoring the site from space.
Western analysts began calling it the Beijing Military City, a name that carried the weight of its purpose. Experts believe this facility is designed to house and protect China's top military leadership during wartime. Access to the site is strictly forbidden, drone flights prohibited, cameras banned. The secrecy is absolute. Thousands of workers, engineers, tunnelers, and construction crews reported to the site under strict confidentiality. The design incorporates deep underground tunnels, reinforced concrete bunkers, and hardened command chambers.
Built to survive nuclear strikes and bunker-buster munitions coutured, this facility was engineered for the worst-case scenario. It is believed to replace Cold War-era command centers before it, a new fortress for a new era of global competition. This is the story of what happened inside the most secretive construction project on Earth. In an era of rising military tensions, China made a decision: protect its command structure at all costs. The facility is widely seen as China's direct response to the growing U.S. military rivalry in the Pacific. As China's nuclear arsenal rapidly expands, the need for a survivable command center has become a strategic necessity. A decapitation strike, a targeted attack on leadership, is one of the most feared scenarios in modern warfare.
Analysts agree, this is a doomsday facility, built to ensure that China's military leadership survives and can command even after a nuclear strike.
Within a single year, an empty field was transformed into the largest military headquarters ever constructed. The construction pace was extraordinary, an entire military city rising from the earth in months, not decades. The facility signals a long-term preparation for potential conflict, particularly scenarios involving nuclear exchange with the United States. The Pentagon, the world's largest office building, would fit inside this complex 10 times over. Deep beneath the surface, the true scale of this operation begins. Layers of reinforced earth, steel, and concrete. The outer perimeter alone spans the size of a mid-sized city, a wall of secrecy as much as security. Every movement on and around the site is monitored, every worker screened, every detail classified. This is not just construction, Kiris. It is the physical embodiment of a nation preparing for the unthinkable. No weather, no schedule, no limitations stopped this project. The mission was too important to pause. Phase 1 began with the total clearance of the 1,500-acre site. Every tree, structure, and obstruction removed. Dozens of bulldozers worked in rotating shifts around the clock, flattening every inch of the designated zone. Within weeks, the landscape was unrecognizable, stripped bare and prepared for what would come from below. Survey teams marked the land with military precision, laying out the coordinates for every tunnel, bunker, and structure. Dust suppression teams kept visibility clear as the site was transformed into a controlled construction environment. Geotechnical teams drilled deep soil samples to understand the Earth's composition before tunneling operations could begin. Topographic surveys revealed the underground rock and soil profile, critical data that would shape every tunneling decision. Deep cuts were made into the Earth, the first visible signs of the underground complex taking shape. The excavation pits were enormous, stretching hundreds of meters wide and plunging deep into the bedrock below.
Site foremen coordinated hundreds of machines and thousands of workers across the vast construction zone simultaneously. Work continued through the night, Chaozen, floodlights turning darkness into daylight, keeping the schedule relentless. With the land cleared and surveyed, the site stood ready, a massive, empty stage for the construction of a century. The excavation phase was unlike any civilian construction project. This required going deep, then deeper still. Vertical access shafts were sunk first, entry points for the tunneling machines that would carve the complex below. Tunnel boring machines, engineering marvels the size of apartment buildings, were assembled on-site and lowered underground. Once activated, these machines drilled continuously, chewing through rock and earth at a calculated, unstoppable pace. Behind the boring machine, workers immediately installed precast concrete lining segments, sealing each tunnel section as it was created.
Every measurement was critical, and the tunnel walls were designed to absorb blast pressure from conventional and nuclear explosions.
The tunnels were built wide enough for military convoys, command vehicles, and heavy logistics equipment. Precast segments were transported underground on purpose-built vehicles, then installed by hydraulic erector arms mounted on the TBM. In sections too hard for boring machines, controlled blasting broke through solid rock, each charge calculated to the gram. Controlled detonations shattered bedrock in seconds. What would take days of boring accomplished in a single calculated blast. After each blast, clearance crews moved in immediately, removing broken rock and preparing the surface for concrete lining. The tunnel network was designed as an interconnected web. Multiple routes to every chamber, ensuring no single point of failure. Junction chambers connected the tunnels into a unified network, massive underground intersections reinforced with heavy structural steel. Waterproofing membranes were applied to every tunnel surface, protecting the structure from groundwater infiltration for decades. Groundwater was a constant challenge. Massive pump systems ran continuously to keep the tunnels dry during construction. Tunnel by tunnel, section by section by say, the underground city was taking shape in the darkness beneath the earth. Above the tunnel network, the surface structures began to rise, reinforced concrete behemoths designed to resist catastrophic force. Rebar installation was among the most labor-intensive phases, thousands of tons of high-grade steel woven into precise structural grids. The concrete pours were enormous, continuous operations lasting days without stopping to ensure structural monolithic integrity. Specialized blast-resistant concrete mixes, far stronger than standard construction-grade bud, were used throughout the bunker walls. The bunker walls were designed with reinforced concrete up to 5 meters thick, capable of absorbing direct bunker-buster weapons impact. Every poured section was tested with precision ultrasonic equipment, verifying structural integrity before the next phase could proceed. Blast-resistant door frames were installed throughout the complex, the anchors for the multi-ton armored doors that would follow. Structural welding teams worked in the heat and darkness, binding steel to concrete in joints strong enough to survive a nuclear shockwave. The command chambers were cavernous, built to house hundreds of military personnel and vast amounts of communication and command equipment. Close-tensioned concrete slabs created ceiling structures of extraordinary strength, distributing blast loads across the entire span. The complex was multi-tiered, multiple levels of command, logistics, communications, and life support stacked beneath the surface. As each section was completed, it was sealed, tested, and transitioned into the next phase of fit-out and systems installation. Earth covering was applied over completed bunker sections, up to 20 meters of compacted fill, adding another layer of blast protection. From the surface, nothing is visible. The most fortified command center on Earth lies hidden beneath an ordinary landscape. While the underground complex grew, an equally critical surface infrastructure was constructed to support the entire operation. Hardened vehicle access points were installed, controlled entry systems capable of stopping armored vehicles and withstanding explosive attack. A dedicated power infrastructure was built, independent substations and backup generation systems, ensuring the facility could never be blacked out. Multiple redundant generator systems were installed, capable of powering the entire complex independently for extended periods. Independent ventilation systems were installed to supply fresh air to every underground levels, including nuclear-filtered air circulation for sealed operations. Nuclear, biological, and chemical filtration systems were integrated into every air supply line, making the facility sealed and self-sufficient. Enormous water storage cisterns were built underground, providing independent water supply to sustain the complex through extended isolation. A hardened communications backbone was installed throughout the complex. Redundant fiber optic networks linking every command chamber. Heavy-duty access roads were built to support the continuous movement of construction materials, military vehicles, and logistics convoys. The surface compound served as the operational face of the facility. Administration, security, logistics, and vehicle staging all integrated. High-intensity perimeter lighting systems were installed, eliminating shadows and ensuring total visibility around the compound at all times. By night, the compound glowed with organized rings of security light, a fortress visible for miles in every direction. The shell was complete. Now the most complex phase began, transforming bare concrete chambers into a fully operational command center. Miles of high voltage and data cabling were routed through the complex, connecting every room, every system, every command station. The armored blast doors were installed last, each one weighing multiple tons, designed to seal individual sections of the complex instantly. Each blast door was hydraulically tested dozens of times, the sealing pressure verified to withstand extreme overpressure from a nuclear detonation. The building services installation was massive in scope. HVAC, plumbing, fire suppression, and communication conduits all running in parallel. Seismic isolation systems were installed under critical equipment, absorbing ground shock from nearby explosions to protect sensitive electronics. The primary operations rooms were built to military specification, hardened workstations, redundant display systems, and isolated power supplies. Hardened data centers were established throughout the complex, housed in independently shielded rooms to resist electromagnetic pulse attacks. Independent emergency lighting covered every corridor and chamber suites, ensuring full visibility even if the primary power grid was completely destroyed. Electromagnetic pulse hardening was applied to sensitive rooms, Faraday shielding protecting all command electronics from EMP weapon effects. Corridor by corridor, room by room, the facility was coming alive, each completed section a testament to extraordinary engineering. Final surface treatments were applied throughout, anti-moisture coatings, fire-retardant finishes, and anti-condensation treatments on all surfaces. Comprehensive quality assurance teams walked every meter of the completed sections, verifying that every system met the exacting military specification. The silence of completion replaced the roar of construction tray, the facility's interior ready and waiting for its operational purpose. Viewed from above, the full scale of the achievement becomes clear. 1,500 acres of military infrastructure, built in under 2 years. The perimeter was now complete, a hardened wall encircling the entire facility, monitored by layered surveillance at every point. Around-the-clock surveillance operations began as construction concluded, the facility transitioning from building site to operational military base. One by one, the cranes came down, the visible symbols of construction disappearing as the facility moved toward operational readiness. In the span of one extraordinary year of construction, China had built what analysts call the most significant military infrastructure project since the Cold War. Intelligence analysts studying the completed facility described it as a generational shift in China's ability to survive and prosecute a major war. Military architecture experts noted that no facility of this scale, this depth, and this level of hardening had ever been built in such a short time frame. The main entrance gave nothing away, an unmarked gate behind which one of the world's most powerful military command systems now stood ready. Initial operational test activities began, military convoys moving through the site, testing access routes and logistical flow under operational conditions. Communication systems were tested repeatedly. Signal integrity, encryption performance, and redundancy all verified across every network.
When satellite imagery of the completed facility reached Western media, it sent shockwaves through defense and intelligence communities worldwide.
The Pentagon and allied intelligence agencies initiated immediate reassessments of their own nuclear strike planning in response to the facility's completion.
Through every season, the facility stood ready, its underground chambers untouched by weather, its systems operating regardless of conditions above. Somewhere beneath 1,500 acres of Chinese earth, the most hardened command center ever built waits in silence for a moment it was designed for.
Former military commanders described the facility as a game changer.
a structure that fundamentally is the calculus of...
In wargame simulations, the existence of a survivable command center like this changes every scenario. It eliminates the possibility of a clean decapitation strike. 30 kilometers separates the heart of Beijing from this fortress. Close enough to govern, far enough to survive the unthinkable.
The Beijing military city is not just a building, Dad. It is a statement. A declaration that China is prepared for the worst and intends to endure it.
The men who built it may never speak of what they constructed. Their work sealed into the earth, along with the facility itself. The cranes are gone. The workers are gone. What remains is a structure that may define the course of global military history. From space, it blends into the earth. From underground, it is an empire of reinforced concrete and strategic purpose tools, hidden in plain sight. The Beijing military city, the most secretive, the most fortified, the most consequential construction project of the 21st century.